Where's your Stetson hat?
Oh, it's at the house. Oh, I got a hat.
Okay.
I got a hat and I got boots, baby. We got that, but we just don't
Do you
wear
have
them every
Spurs?
day. Now you're getting personal there now. Getting personal. I can show you where you buy them, buddy.
Meet Palle Bo, a full-time traveler and digital nomad from Denmark on an epic journey around the world. At the age of 50, he made a bold decision. He sold everything, his house, his car, his furniture, and set out on a quest to visit every country in the world, documenting everything along the way. This is the Radio Vagabond.
A big brown sculpture. Bronze. I see a staircase. I left my new friends Jeannie and Big Ed in the trailer park in Houston and went on to see an old friend of mine. His name is Doug, and we're about to meet in his office. And I'm trying to find my way up there with him guiding me on the phone.
Yeah, the one. Yeah, and the one that says 1 to 13. Okay, cool.
I got to know Doug Harris as a broadcast marketing consultant in his company, Creative Animal. And for the past 20 years, he's also run Noisemaker Communications. Here he and his team also works with other businesses that want to make some noise and grab some attention. He gets some crazy, creative noise-making ideas, like when a Star Wars movie was about to premiere and he was working with a radio station on how to get some attention. On his suggestion, they paid $1,000 to the first listener who would legally change his name to Obi-Wan Kenobi. That got them a lot of media coverage, and the idea was later copied by radio stations all over. And I remember him telling about his all-time favorite publicity stunt that never saw the light of day as the client got cold feet. He was representing an electric razor company, and he pitched the idea of taking out a full-page ad in the newspaper and offering Fidel Castro $1 million to shave his iconic beard with their electric razor. The client was worried. What if the leader of the communist Cuba actually took a capitalistic bribe to shave his famous beard? So it never happened. It's ideas like that that somehow pop up in the mind of this man that you're about to meet. So strap in. Welcome to the Radio Vagabond, episode 196. My name is Palle Bo. We're still in Texas, Houston.
Hey, you handsome devil. What a nice, wonderful surprise. Come on in. You got some coffee, water, soft drink? Something? Yeah, coffee. Okay, good. Hold on. Let's get this here. She was looking for me. Okay, let's drop that down.
This is your office?
Yes. So why don't for the next little bit?
The Radio Vagabond is supported in part by Hotels25. It's a website that helps you find the best prices on hotels and guest houses and hostels all over the world in one simple search. Hotels25.com.
The ultimate destination for armchair travelers who are looking for inspiration to get out into the real world and let loose their wanderlust. This is the Radio Vagabond. Gotta keep moving.
Houston is a cruel, crazy town on a filthy river in East Texas with no zoning laws and a culture of sex, money, and violence. It's a shabby, sprawling metropolis ruled by brazen women, crooked cops, and super rich pansexual cowboys who live by the code of the West, which can mean just about anything you need it to mean in a pinch. This great quote is from 2004, said by American journalist and author Hunter Stockton Thompson. I am here in the car in Houston with my good old friend Doug, and we were talking, how long time has it been since I've seen you?
Well, I think my memory may be fading a bit. I do remember, purely in the interest of camaraderie and economics, we ended up sharing a hotel room in London. And I'm trying to remember, it was an RAB event or I believe NAB event.
So for the people not knowing, that's in the radio industry.
Yes, and so I remember that. But then our paths crossed in Dubai or Mumbai, which was a fascinating place. when the Indian government had just launched independent radio, and what an amazing situation that was. So we've certainly been in some adventurous places together. Not the least of which is my hometown, the fourth largest city in the United States, and the first word spoken from the moon.
And the last word spoken from the moon as well.
Was it?
Yeah.
I've never heard that one. Houston, what?
No, I think more like we're coming home, Houston. So it was the last word as well from the moon.
Did you see it? It takes somebody from out of my country to tell me something I should have known. That's fabulous.
And apart from the space center that I went to, you're the reason I'm here, because I was in Austin and I just needed to come here and say hi to you.
Well, Houston has a lot of great attractions. This is home of one of the finest medical centers in the world, the Texas Medical Center, known for its heart surgeons. And we have many people who come all over the world here to seek medical care. And then we have a fabulous theater district, second only to New York City. People don't realize that. When you calculate the number of seats, we have professional football teams, sports teams, not football, I can't go there. We have a soccer, I always get tripped up on that. We have professional soccer/football. We have a world championship baseball team, the Astros, and we have the greatest Mexican food and barbecue on the planet. And you're going to see all that while you're here.
That is so great. But it's funny, I stayed with Jeannie and Big Ed the last couple of days, and I asked them, what's there to see in Houston? And they were kind of, I don't know, not much. So they thought we need to do some more research, because of course there's a lot here, but it's just so close to home, and they never really thought of it.
So, did you say Jeannie and Big Ed?
Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, that's perfect Texas names, all right? If you're hanging with Jeannie and Big Ed, you're going to get some good times. But they probably have discovered the comforts of staying at home and talking with friends and drinking beer and eating pizza and barbecue on the grill.
Big Ed did some barbecue last night. That was amazing.
And I bet it's fabulous. But we're going to show you just today some of the more interesting cultural things. The Holocaust Museum, the Museum of Fine Arts Houston, the Contemporary Art Museum, the Manil Collection. Just unbelievably bold and deep and exciting collections of art, painting and sculpture and all these wonderful things. And we'll show you some pretty cool spots to hang and check out fun people. And maybe even commerce will raise its ugly head, and we might find some suitably Texas souvenir to send home with you. Maybe like some of those dried bull testicles. Big Ed knows about that, I guarantee you.
Doc Harris is super well traveled and a man of the world, but he's also a true Houstonian. He loves his city and knows a lot about it. So he's the perfect tour guide for me as we're driving on our way to an original Texas barbecue lunch. But Houston is growing, and only not that long ago it became number 4 in the U.S.
Yes, and they say we're headed to number 3. We'll have to bump Chicago out of the way. But, the thing about this city is it's amazingly diverse. Amazingly diverse, because we have a huge Hispanic community. We have a growing Asian community. And by Asian, I mean not some murky pan-Asian. We have specific. We have the Chinese and the Koreans, and we have the Japanese and the Vietnamese, and they have all found their home here because Houston is a very welcoming place. Come and raise your family. If you want to start a business, come on, we'll help you do it. It's a really welcoming place. So you've got a diversity of culture and people. You've got opportunity. There's the oil and gas industry. There's the healthcare industry. There's a radio industry. Lots of fun stuff to do. And there's something about Texas. We do things a little different, and particularly in Houston, we do them bigger and bolder than a lot of other folks do.
So where are we going now today? What have you lined up for me?
We're going to one of my favorite barbecue joints. It's called Charlie's Barbecue Joint. Now, there's nobody there named Charlie. There is a steerhead on the wall, and they call him Charlie, and that's why they call it Charlie's Barbecue here in a suburb called Bel Air, with 2 L's, not like the Bel Air in California. And then we may stop off at the National Funeral Museum which is here in Houston, which is
you
just
told me about that.
crazy. We may go to the Buffalo Soldiers.
Hang on a second.
Yes.
That funeral thing is not... Because I remember a long time ago you told me about a friend of yours that lost his job and started a new career.
Yes, he was in the decorative casket business, and he was the guy that invited me to the World Death Expo, and I got to see all these crazy. Well, I want to be respectful. It's a very important industry, and a lot of dedicated people work on it. But it is a bit odd.
You could say that. But it's got nothing to do with the funeral museum.
No. The funeral museum has these antique hearses, these wagons and things that they would use to carry people to their gravesite, and it's got the tools of the trade and the instruments, and it's quite a place. So that's the national for all the country. This is where the funeral museum is. So they have like the in some cases they were wagons, in some cases they were motorized vehicles, some gasoline. The hearses they're called. They're all the instruments of the trade. There's some. It's a very bizarre. Probably guys like you and I, we're pretty jaded folks, right? We've been around the world. We've seen some amazing things. This was quite fascinating to me. So there's that. There's the Art Car Museum, which has these are decorated automobiles. They have a big parade every year called the Art Car Parade, and they're not really street legal, but they're three-dimensional. There's dinosaurs and all that kind of stuff. So we may get by there. And this is just I'm going to show you my hometown so that you can tell the world when you come here that we don't ride horses to work. There's not like prairie sagebrush blowing down Main Street.
Where's your Stetson hat?
Oh, it's at the house. Oh, I got a hat.
Okay.
I got a hat and I got boots, baby. We got that, but we just don't
Do you
wear
have
them every
spurs?
day. Now you're getting personal there now. Getting personal. I can show you where you buy them, buddy.
Here are 6 quick facts about Houston.
And now, facts about where we are.
No one's actually from here. If you ask most Houstonians, they're from another city, state, or even country. Houston has an underground pedestrian tunnel system. The tunnel is 20 feet below ground and runs for 7 miles, linking 95 city blocks. There are no zoning laws. You will see a sex shop next to a mansion that's right down the block from a school that sits alongside what seems to be a Buddhist temple. No zoning laws. They don't really wear boots and hats because they're not really cowboys. The only exception is during the rodeo season when they put on the finest bolo ties, hats, boots, and buckles they can find and totally pretend to be cowboys. The Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo is one of the biggest rodeos in the world. This month-long rodeo attracts over 2.5 million attendees every year. And finally, don't bother doing your hair in August. Humidity wins. It always wins.
And that was facts about where we are.
So look, we're coming up on the city, the skyline of downtown Houston here on 45. Notice that some of the billboards here are in Spanish because that one there is in Spanish because a substantial portion of our population is they're new arrivals, and many of them have come after their other families come, much the way my family came here from Greece back at the turn of the 20th century. My father, his uncle came over, and then he brought my father, and then they brought brothers and sisters, and that's how this sort of thing works. That's how everybody gets together, and it's still been going on. And I know it's a subject of great controversy across the planet, but this country was born on immigrants, and my dad was one of them from Greece.
Oh.
Yeah, came in he was working came over and worked in his uncle's meat packing plant, and he served the United States Army, and then he got into medical school and married a local gal and built his medical practice, had 2 sons, and lived the American dream the way it was in the 20th century. We'll see how that American dream is in the 21st.
When I got to know Doug, he was always one of the speakers at radio conferences I was attending, talking about how to be more creative. How do you spark creativity and nurture a creative environment in a boring workplace? And Just one of the tricks he always brought was bubbles. Yeah, I remember the European conference where we shared a room.
Purely in the interest of camaraderie and economics.
He was in a conference room with 400 to 500 people, and everybody was blowing bubbles. They were all over this big conference room, and people were laughing and feeling creative. I don't know, there's just something about bubbles that brings out the creative animal in us. And he's always noticing when someone is doing a marketing stunt that is a bit out of the ordinary. As we're driving here in Houston, he points out a billboard with a great idea.
See, look at this. This is a billboard for our Houston Astros. So the way this works is, this is Gallery Furniture, right? So if the Astros win the World Series and you have bought a mattress at Gallery Furniture, you get your money back. So you buy, it's kind of like gambling. You know, you got to buy a mattress anyway. You got all these furniture stores to choose from. Mattress Max says if you buy it and the Astros win, I'll give you your money back afterwards.
And they're doing pretty good.
Oh, the Astros?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're world champions last year. They're gonna. Well, I don't want to jinx it, but they got a good shot at winning the whole thing again. And we're in the middle of the playoff season now. And Mattress Mac is a bigger than life furniture retailer. He's astounding. He's he's got Elvis's Lincoln Continental on display at his store. Maybe I'll swing you by there. It's just so much to see here. You know, so much to see. The weather pretty well cooperates most of the time. It can be a little hot. Look, there's the ACL. There's a billboard there for the Austin City Limits Festival. You're going back to Austin. Now that's, I think, in a couple of weeks. Childish Gambino is performing. So, you know, it's a great town. Look at that skyline. That's not breathtaking like a European skyline that's been around for, 300-500 years, and they just build the name. It's not like the beautiful, interesting Berlin skyline, but it's impressive.
But Houston's so widespread, so we got all these freeways, a network of freeways, and sometimes in 4 levels. It's enormous, but still the traffic can get a little crazy.
Well, yeah, but so I live in the middle of the city, and I drive north towards the big airport every morning. But all the traffic's coming in, so I'm on the other side of the freeway. So while it's only about a 22 minute commute for me in the morning, and then when I come home, it's the reverse.
Yeah.
So you just manage it. The thing about living in the suburbs here is that if you're a young man or woman and you want to grow your family and have a beautiful home and be in a good school district and have a place where maybe we'll add a pool someday, you can do that here, and it's a lot less expensive than any place else in the world. So at least here in the United States to do that sort of thing, to have this. I wish our listeners could see this beautiful panorama of modern structures here. Yeah. And we'll try to grab a couple others that capture, because it's a little overcast today, not the blazing Texas heat that we normally have.
So it's overcast. There's no smog. The pollution's not so bad here.
We ship all the smog elsewhere. We package it and we ship it someplace else. We don't tolerate smog here. No. Well, actually, the industry here, the oil and gas industry, that's actually a little further down the road on the east part of the city, right by the ship channel. That's you may remember a movie called Urban Cowboy with John Travolta. Yeah. That was based on a little bit of the cowboy culture, but also the oil and gas culture as well. So that's a little to the east, and then there's a little bit of some of the chemical discharge there in the air, so it colors it a little bit, but that just makes us it makes us taller, and some of us glow in the dark. So this is we're coming up on Buffalo Bayou, which is where the Allen brothers came here in the mid 19th century and wrote back home and said, "Hey, boy, this is a great place. Y'all come. Everybody come down here to Houston." And they exaggerated just a bit the tropical paradise here, but enough folks came and said, "Well, we're here. Let's just make a go of it." And that's what they did.
Doug needs a haircut, so we're making a quick stop for his appointment. And I take a seat in their bar, getting a cup of coffee. Yeah, in a bar inside the barbershop. And it's unlike any other barbershop I've ever seen before.
Alyssa, my good friend Doug, he's getting a haircut right now, but this is so much more than a barber salon. We sell an experience, not a haircut.
And the name of it is the Gents.
The Gents place, yes.
Can you tell me, you just gave me a quick tour, but give me a mental tour here with words.
A mental tour, you can sit anywhere between our 2 lobbies, our members lounge, at the bar.
Just to set the scene, I'm sitting in a bar and having a cup of coffee, but you also have some liquor here. But
We have,
so
yes.
walk into a place you can get a haircut and then sit at the bar.
Sit at the bar, have a couple of drinks. We do haircuts. We can do hand repairs, foot repairs, eyebrows, nose, and ear waxing. We have a nice relaxation room to get your hair shampooed and conditioned, scalp massages, anywhere from hand, neck, and shoulder massages, everything.
And right here we have a place where people can just come after work and sit with the computer, because you also have people become members of the place.
Members, they come in, hang out before work, after work, before going home, all of that great stuff.
Just whenever they want to get away from their wives.
Oh, definitely. That's the reason most of them come. Definitely. Yeah, that's why it was brought to. Exactly. Get out of the house for a couple of hours, get out of doing chores.
And we have football on the screen, so what's not to like?
Always sports, news, whatever you want. You tell me what you want to watch, I'll put it on the TV, minus a couple of things.
So if a woman came in here, you would have to not let her in the back, just keep her out here.
I'd have to let her in the back. We don't discriminate. Okay. But most women will go to the salon upstairs rather than coming here.
Thank you.
It's called the Gents Place River Oaks. And you should absolutely stop by if you're in Houston and need a haircut, a scalp massage, or a shoe shine. Or just want to get away and hang out with other guys for a bit. I put a link and a video on theradiovagabond.com.
The Radio Vagabond. Gotta keep moving.
So we're now just in the shadow of downtown Houston on Sabine Street, a historic street here, and we're looking at Buffalo Bayou, which at one time was basically just a big long ditch, and it's where the Allen brothers sailed down here in the mid 19th century and bought some land and decided they were going to build a city, and they named it after the hero of the Texas Republic, Sam Houston. And now it's become, quite a recreational spot. Let me get where you can take a look here, Polly. It's there's a dog park and a skate park and a water park, and you can rent kayaks and things like that. It's a nice running trail and walking trail.
How far away from downtown are we?
There's downtown right there. We're not 500 meters from it, right there. So if you look down there, you can sort of see it. Here, we'll put the flashers on and take a walk. It's a big friendly city. Nobody will stop it. So we're looking over the walkway here. There's Buffalo Bayou, right? And these are running tracks and walking trails and all that. Goes all the way down the city there. This is a residential area, lush and green. Here's the commercial area back over here. So, not a bad place to live and work.
No.
Let's go look over here for a second.
Doug is also the kind of person that would get into a conversation with strangers he meets everywhere. He's just got this aura around him saying, "Hey, I'm a nice guy, talk to me." And it's not a put on, it's just who he is. Like when we see a dog in the streets.
Hello, sweetie. This town loves its dogs. Hello, sweetie. Do you want to say hello? Okay, come over. Let's go slow. Yes, a little butt rub there. This is Polly. He's visiting from Denmark. He's a journalist. And I'm showing him the city. And who is this handsome beast here? Tango. Yeah, too much to sniff. Oh, goodness.
Did you notice just how elegant that was? Random strangers. 1, he's talking to the dog. 2, he's addressing the owner by introducing me and saying that he's showing me around. 3, he's complimenting the handsome dog again. And from there, a conversation could start. I'm so impressed that I'm gonna play it again. Just 19 seconds. It's a masterclass in how to establish rapport and get into a conversation with a random stranger in the streets of Houston.
Hello, sweetie. Do you want to say hello? Okay, come over. Let's go slow. Yes, a little butt rub there. This is Polly. He's visiting from Denmark. He's a journalist. And I'm showing him the city. And who is this handsome beast here? Tango.
I'm pretty sure that Doug wouldn't give this a second thought, but I feel that those 19 seconds just sums up what kind of great outgoing person he is.
So now we're traveling in toward the central part of the city. And this is called Allen Parkway. These were federal housing projects, low-income housing at one time, and they've been sort of refurbished so that you have in amongst, a very colorful and wealthy neighborhood, you have a very livable and affordable area as well. And we're driving down this lovely green belt here, and you see these, we don't have real strict zoning laws here, so you can put a big tall building next to a small building if you want to. The only thing you have restrictions on is selling alcohol or anything that might be considered a sexually oriented business. That's this is a Federal Reserve building. Look at this magnificent kind of crazy orange and blue thing. You wouldn't think that's a government building, but kind of a neat spot here. You're coming up on a sculpture here that I saw when I was in Christchurch, New Zealand. Identical sculpture, same artist. So made me have a little taste of home. What do these people do that are able to take bicycle rides in the middle of the day? There's a guy rollerblading. They don't have real jobs like we do. Oh, we don't have real jobs, do we? Anyway, I love telling people about my hometown because I hope they will come here. If you're not good with the heat, maybe you don't come in August. It's a little toasty in August, but everything is air conditioned here. Everything. We even have an outdoor park that's air conditioned.
Really?
Yes, absolutely. So you have cool air blowing on you just to make sure. Look at this beautiful public art there. People don't understand about Texas in general, but certainly, Houston, that this is a very artistic community and a welcoming community, and it's a great place to vacation for a time, or at least see once in your life. There's the sculpture that's also in the Christchurch right there. Same sort of thing right there, that fountain, right?
I would love to hear from you, and now there's a new and very simple way for you to send me a voice message. It's a cool little web-based app called Telbe, and all you need to do is click on the banner on the radiovagabond.com where it says "Talk to me," and then just talk. Tell me where you are and what you're doing while you're listening to this. It's super simple, and one of the cool things is that you can listen to it and redo it if you're not happy with it before you click send. Please try that. I get a small soundbite that I can play here on the show, and it's always wonderful to hear from you guys. You can, of course, also fill out the form under contact on the website.
This is this has a helipad on top here. This is a residential place they call the Heartbreak Hotel. When the wealthy people that live in this area, when they go through a transition in their lives with regard to their romantic partners, one of the two of them usually ends up here for a time period till the matter is resolved.
Why is that?
Well, because when you're getting a divorce, somebody's got to leave and move out. So oftentimes they want to stay in the same area, so they go to the Heartbreak Hotel. That's what that's called right there. I'm going to pull in here at the Lost Lake, which is a bit of a misnomer, but it's a cool spot here right around the corner called the Dunleavy. This is a sort of a restaurant built looking out over the Bayou. And this is an adventurous fellow here that's trying to park his car. I have a feeling about some drivers that they should not be allowed to drive a car bigger than their closet.
You got some big-ass trucks here.
Yeah. So here we have boat rentals, and there's a beautiful little restaurant around there, and you overlook the bayou there, all that good stuff. It's a wonderful, wonderful spot.
As you probably can sense, Doug is not a man short of words. So I got more on tape from my drive with him around Houston in the next episode.
Next week on the Radio Vagabond.
I'm a rocker, okay? I was raised in the 60s and 70s. I had a band in my garage. The bass player was a guy named Dennis Quaid, you probably know. Played in my band.
The Dennis Quaid?
T-H-E Dennis Quaid, who now has a great band called Dennis Quaid and the Sharks. So in addition to making...
It's all because of what happened in your basement.
That would be a pretty bit generous exaggeration. But no, it was my garage, not a basement.
Look forward to part 2 of my day with Doug Harris. My name is Palabo. See ya.
Produced by radioguru.co.uk.